Good evening, everybody. Welcome back inside Tarbell Pavilion, night number 2 of the NCAA tournament, and it's the round of 32. Bob Long, Jacob Brady alongside. It's the MIT Engineers against the Swarthmore College Garnet. MIT has been fantastic, and they were last night, blitzing Skidmore early and then riding that momentum all the way to the finish. Swarthmore as well was very, very effective and efficient offensively. Jacob, we have two teams that love to light it up from beyond the arc, two teams that can shoot it at about a 40% clip as a team, and two teams that also can bash it inside. Tim Roberts, 28 and 21 last night inside. And for Garnet of the Garnet of Swarthmore, Zach Odell, Nate Schaefer really run the show inside. It's a very common style game here, and I think these teams look a lot more similar than they do different.
Yeah, I mean, what you combine in both of these two teams is that great presence inside. For MIT, it's amazing what one man can do. Tim Roberts, the lone forward, lone guy, staying in the paint for MIT, and he's putting up, 2K type numbers in that game yesterday as compared to Odell and Schaefer on the other side. And then you combine that with the excellent three-point shooting. MIT set the tone early in yesterday's game. You got a guy in A.J. Yurko who has NBA range. He was in warm-ups practicing from around 25 feet or so, making most of them. Bradley Jomard as well, Hamilton Forsyth. You got a bunch of great shooters on the other side for the Garnet. Obviously, Connor Harkins, talked so much about him all season. Ryan Ingram, and then, of course, Cam Wiley, the Centennial Conference Player of the Year. Numbers, at least, from beyond the arc, a little down the season, but he's always a threat to shoot. You cannot give him any sort of space. We saw in the game yesterday that MIT played, they took on another physical guard in the form of Noah Merrin, and he had a great game, scoring 25 points. Now, in Cam Wiley, you sacrifice a little bit of height, but you get a jump shot. Merrin, I believe, took one jump shot in that entire game, whereas with Wiley, you really have to guard him right in his face because he is not afraid to rise up over you in addition to driving, and he will beat you around the edge. So it'll be exciting to see both how he plays against this MIT defense and then what they roll out there to try to lock him down.
Second game in about 24 hours for both of these teams. MIT, you'll see a very short bench for them. The Garnet have shortened that bench as well. They went 7 deep as opposed to 8 or 9 deep as they have been for the majority of the season. Jacob, I think that's another storyline here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, the minutes are definitely very high for MIT. You look at it, all 5 of their starters played at least 30 minutes. Tim Roberts especially played the entire game. It's a lot to ask on back-to-back nights for guys to come out and perform in the same way after that, after they've taken, they've expended so much energy in that type of a game. So it'll be interesting to see what the rest levels are like for both of these teams and how they can perform on short rest.
Bob Long, Jacob Brady here for GSN. Round of 32 coverage in the NCAA tournament. We'll now turn your attention to the floor and to the public address announcer for the introductions and the national anthem. Nationally, this is the game that folks are looking forward to. The eyes of the country following Division III athletics are here on Tarble Pavilion. The Garnet of Swarthmore, the number 6 team in the country. MIT number 12, the Bracketeers, slotted this matchup as a potential second round matchup, and now it has come to play. Boy, I don't know if that's the way, looking back, that the Bracketeers would have expected that this goes. Number 6, number 12, they put them in the same pod, and here they are with a chance to go to the Sweet 16. Introduce first Tim Roberts for MIT, Nate Schaefer. How appropriate, as those guys are going to be going at it all night, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that. That's going to be a physical battle inside. Again, Nate Schaefer could have very well been the defensive player in the year in the Centennial Conference. Instead went to his teammate Zach Odell. But on the other side, Tim Roberts, huge game inside. It'll be up to Nate Schaefer. He was left on an island last night against Dom Santiago, held his own pretty well. He'll have to do the same against Tim Roberts.
Bradley Jamard introduced next, the guy who has a ton of accolades, averaging 19 points per game, and the NEWMAC Player of the Year this year. Connor Harkins, a spot-up three-point shooter who's added more and more to his arsenal, plays great defense as well, and has been able to get his nose dirty, getting rebounds inside. Ian Hinckley, a sophomore, introduced next. And George Visconti introduced now for the Swarthmore Garnet, a freshman who stepped up and has had a lot put on his shoulders. He has been fantastic in the month of February and into March. AJ Yurko, the heart and soul of this MIT team, had a huge night against Skidmore. And Cam Wiley, a four-year guy here for the Garnet, perhaps the most accomplished player in the history of the program.
Yeah, it's apt again. Just as we saw in yesterday's game, there's going to be a battle of Conference Players of the Year. Cam Wiley, two-time Centennial Conference Player of the Year, and then Bradley Jomard on the other side. Again, exciting matchup. You know, you want to see how these two guys did so well during the regular season. Now they're at the point in the season. They know each of these games could be their last, at least in this season. And Bradley Jomard, a senior as well, so potentially the last of their careers. So they're leaving everything out on the floor here tonight, that's for sure.
A battle of the brains here this evening. Both schools with selectivity under 10%. And both schools with average SAT scores above 1,500. About to mix it up here in the Division III NCAA tournament for a chance to go to the Sweet 16. Garnet dressed in the home whites. MIT in the road crimson. Tim Roberts and Nate Schaefer inside the circle. A couple of teams that have lost a combined 7 times all year long. Two of the best the country has to offer. A Final Four type matchup in your backyard here in the round of 32 when we're underway. Man-to-man defense here from MIT in the game's first possession. Harkins, and Wiley has it with 12 to shoot. Harkins off a back screen, 4-3, good. Harkins gets it started early for the Garnet.
That's a good way to start the game off. Connor Harkins, open look from the wing. He's had Tim Roberts on him in that situation, and he'll take that matchup every time. Interesting note, defensively for MIT, they're playing Hinckley on Odell. If Odell can get inside, he may be able to take advantage of some size there.
Good work by Bradley Jamard. Listed as a guard, but at 6'5", has some size and went one-on-one post up against Odell. 3-2 Garnet lead. Cutting, good look for Schaefer. What a finish. Adjusting in midair and using the rim as protection against the shot blocker.
Yeah, even when he draws that double team there as Yurko came over with the help defense to Roberts, still such a spectacular finish. There's a reason that he was named All-Centennial Second Conference this year.
Yurko drives to his left. I think that's something that Swarthmore is going to want to try. Forsyth, a long three. Harkins brings it down. Yurko a lot more comfortable as Odell waits for it and finishes. Allowed Jamard to fly by, and it's 7-2 early for the Garnet. But as I was saying, Jacob, I'm sorry, Yurko loves to drive to his right. If they can get him going left, that's just one more thing for him to think about.
But also, you look at Hamilton Forsyth, listed at 6'8". He has got height on any single person on the Garnet player who will be on the Garnet team who will be guarding him tonight. So even with Cam Wiley in his face, that wasn't a particularly bad look for a corner three.
3 for 3 for the Garnet to start the game. They started 4 for 4 in the conference championship 2 games ago. They were 4 for 4 to start last night. Wiley, a deep three, good! And they're 4 for 4 to start here tonight.
And the thing is, if you give him any space like that, he's going to take advantage. Rises straight up even with Tim Roberts right there because he's got to play back off him. He knows that Wiley loves to drive.
Cam Wiley called for the foul against Yurko. Doesn't like the call, but a little bump. And that's the pressure that Yurko puts on you. So good, driving to his right.
Yeah, I mean, all of these guards that MIT plays, they're so quick. It's going to be a lot of running, that's for sure, for all of these Garnet defenders.
Bradley Jamard, and now Forsyth with it off for Roberts. Roberts, for what it's worth, has not corralled a rebound yet here in the first 3 minutes. Last night he had 21 to go along with 28 points. Jamard spins inside, tough shot, no. Rebound, and it'll stay here. It's a fight for the rebound inside, and Nate Schaefer is called for the foul. Tough call early there against the Garnet. And I think foul trouble on either side tonight could be problematic. George Visconti called for the foul. That's already the 3rd team foul against the Garnet, and Visconti's first.
Yeah, I mean, with the way they're running their benches so tightly, I mean, MIT really only played 6 guys. A couple guys got 4 or 5 minutes, but Dan Pillsbury with the 6-man Garnet, you said playing 7. If guys get into foul trouble, it's going to start to eat away at that bench.
Pretty good defense there, and a travel is called against Yurko. Huge there, Jacob, as a low ball screen was set there by Roberts. Harkins' ability to fight through so that Schaefer doesn't have to make a decision as Harkins gets taken out of the play. That's tremendous defense.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that the Garnet have done so great defensively so far in this game is the help defense down low to clog up passing lanes. One of the things that MIT did great yesterday against Skidmore was passing inside the paint. A lot of times Tim Roberts made these beautiful back cuts off of a drive. Guard would pass it right into his lap. Easy layup for him. Haven't been able to get that going so far.
Somewhat of a nickel-dime call there. 3 fouls for the Garnet, 1 for MIT. As Schaefer spins inside, the Garnet continue to cook offensively.
And if you get a mismatch like that, Schaefer and Odell a couple times now have had either Hinckley or Yurko on them, but they will take advantage of that.
Jamard so good when he gets that full head of steam starting from the top of the key. Not exactly a three-point threat, Jacob, but if he can start dribbling downhill, that's where he can be very, very dangerous. Now the Garnet with 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Wiley thought about the drive. 7 seconds left. A handoff. Wiley pulls up. Tough shot. Tapped back, and the Garnet will have a new possession. Harkins. Bang! Harkins 2 for 2 from deep, and the Garnet lead 15-4.
And the rebounding for the Garnet already looking much better than it did in yesterday's game.
Yurko, an answer.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes the Engineers so great. The off-the-dribble shooting like there, runs to the spot, pulls up, easy finish for Yurko.
Speaking of pulling up, Cam Wiley with the floater, and the Garnet are 7 for 8 from the floor. MIT, not too bad either, 3 for 6 early on. This is a high level of basketball being played right now. Offensive foul, Ian Hinckley, and Cam Wiley sold that one, Jacob, without a doubt. made an exaggerated move to try to get through that screen, kind of pulled the Hinckley leg up a little bit, understanding that that's going to get called, and that's a veteran move from a senior, Cam Wiley.
I mean, in a game like this where you know really opportunities are going to be at a premium, you take anything you get. Both, teams ranked in the top 15 of the national rankings, you're going to sell everything as best as you can because if you get sort of those free plays or those free possessions, that'll go well in your favor.
Full timeout on the floor. You're watching the NCAA tournament here on GSN. We'll be right back. An unbelievable start from both sides. The Garnet 7 for 8 from the floor, 3 of 3 from deep. MIT 3 for 6. The Garnet have corralled all 3 rebounds that were to be had in the early stages. MIT goes into his zone, changes up the look out of the first timeout. Good look for Odell, a skip pass for Ingram. And they'll reset. Now a little bit disjointed this zone, but the Garnet having trouble getting their shot. Harkins, a good look from deep, again! Harkins, 3 for 3.
It's the Connor Harkins show so far in this game. One of the ways that the Garnet have broke down the zone so well this season is with their inside-out passing. I thought when Odell got into the hands of Ingram, that would get things going.
What a play there, Odell and Ryan Ingram. Visconti, corner 3. This team is on fire. 5 for 5 from beyond the arc, 9 for 10 from the field. Roberts pulled away, and a late foul is called as Ingram and Harkins were both in there. It'll be Ingram being called for the personal. Already the 4th team foul against the Garnet, first on Ryan Ingram. (23-7). And MIT hasn't played poorly. Good look inside, and Roberts able to finish. That's what they do so well. Yurko to Roberts.
I mean, MIT, their offense has been so good, it's still doing pretty well in this game.
Connor Harkins again.
Yeah, I start going on these points, and then there's some spectacular play, and got to stop myself.
Offensive foul. Bradley Jamard pushes off of Abbas Salah. He got the left arm extended, and a timeout is called by Larry Anderson. And listen to this crowd.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Larry Anderson there, you don't really have a choice but to call timeout. Everything going right for the Garnet right now. Again, MIT isn't playing badly. Every time they've scored 80 points this season, they have not lost. They're still well on their way to doing that. But the thing is, the Garnet just playing so well on the other end. MIT tried to throw a zone at them, but what they do is they get down the floor quickly before MIT can get fully set there. And then with their inside-out passing, they break it so well. And then you look on the other side, those twin towers of Nate Schaefer and Zach Odell, both very physical big men. You've got Tim Roberts really as the lone forward for MIT. You don't have another guy that can necessarily challenge inside, so they are dominating the game in the paint right now.
They've scored 26 points in 6 minutes and 20 seconds. And they force MIT back into the man-to-man. Down low, Schaefer, he'll finish. Abbas Salah with the penetration, drawing the second defender. 19-point lead for Swarthmore. Now Yurko comes to the right, looks inside. Roberts, a good finish, and 2 straight times down the floor. MIT has been able to get that 2-man basketball going. It's when they are their best.
Yeah, there's that inside-in passing there, and you see the trust from Yurko. I'm not sure he actually saw where Roberts was, but he knew that Roberts knows where to position himself on the floor, and that opens Roberts up for a wide-open layup.
Schaefer trying to get back to the basket, lost the basketball out of bounds. Pretty good defense there by MIT as they collapsed inside. The Garnet, 11 for 12 from the field, 6 of 6 from beyond the arc.
I mean, when a team starts off a game like this, you just can't hang with them because it's really incredible to watch. I mean, Harkins 4 for 4 from the field.
Well, if you're MIT, you got to pick yourself back up off the mat, understand that this trend can't continue for 40 minutes, and try to scrape back possession by possession. They're a good enough team. They're here for a reason. They were the top team in the NUMAC all season long. Yurko, a lob for Roberts, and a foul is called on the floor. That's the 5th team foul against the Garnet. Zach Odell called for the personal, his first. So Jacob, 5 guys with 1 foul apiece for the Garnet.
So it's at least as good in the sense that they're keeping them distributed. But again, you want to clean that up a little bit because you are trying to play with a limited rotation.
AJ Yurko off the screen. Beautiful shot. Yurko, a senior, heart and soul of this program, was a winner in high school, won a state championship, 2 times runner-up, and then has gone to 3 NCAA tournaments here with MIT. Schaefer has a mismatch inside, gets himself down there, and he is fouled on the floor. And I think that's the only thing Cameron Korb could do. Korb, a 2-time captain for this MIT team, picks up his first.
Yeah, I mean, when you're guarding Schaefer like that, Cameron Korb listed at 6'1", that's a 5 or 6 inch height advantage for Nate Schaefer, and Korb tried to grab at the ball and ended up just getting his arm instead.
I think Landry Kosmalski wants a shooting foul there. And it's not going to get it. And now we're going to get a whistle and a discussion, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a tough one because I'm not sure that Schaefer completely went up into his shooting motion. He was definitely getting into it, but a little bit of borderline there, what kind of situation that is.
Wiley thought about the 3, 12 seconds, inside Schaefer, nobody there, shoulders contact, counted and 1. That'll be Ian Hinckley's 2nd personal foul, coming at 11:50 to play in the first half. And a timeout on the floor, 11:50 to play. Garnet still cooking here at home, 16-point lead. We'll be right back here on GSN.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Student section packed to capacity here tonight at Tarbell Pavilion. A hot dog in the house as well. Not every day you see that. Jacob, on that last play, when Schaefer caught that ball, he expected somebody to be right on his tail, but it was a good back screen, and MIT got a little bit confused defensively, so he took a dribble, and it almost seemed as if it was going to be too late and he was going to give up his advantage. It actually worked out in his favor as Hinckley ended up coming over, and that gave Schaefer the opportunity to find that contact and get the extra foul shot coming at the line. Interesting there, though, the way that play played itself out.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Hinckley was just going to stay on the ground, back him once he took that extra dribble, but it seemed like he panicked just a little bit, got off his feet, and Schaefer went up into the contact and through the contact for the finish.
57% foul shooter on the line. No good on that one. So the Garnet are 0 for 1 from the line and 12 of 13 from the field. Counted and one. An opportunity for a 4-point play for Cameron Korb.
That's an impressive job there. He had Ryan Ingram all over him, hence the foul. I thought that Ryan Ingram stayed pretty vertical there and that Korb went into the contact, but either way, still an impressive shot from him.
Well, that's the argument that Landry Kosmowski is making, head coach for Swarthmore as well. No good on the free throw. Rebound down to Nate Schaefer. 30-17. Pulling it back is Wiley. 16 on the shot clock. Wiley thought about the three now again. Plays catch with Nate Schaefer. He goes baseline again. What a swim to the basket.
Yeah, they have not been able to stop him so far, and part of that has been getting those mismatches. They've been able to consistently get Tim Roberts to switch onto Cam Wiley. That time, eventually, he did find his way back onto Schaefer, but if they can consistently force those switches, that's going to open up Schaefer a lot.
Yurko, tough shot, no. Roberts, offensive foul. He reached over the top of Nate Schaefer. He had proper position. And that's already 16 fouls against MIT as well, which matches the Garnet.
It's definitely been a physical game here early on. I think that's what a lot of people expected. These are both teams that play pretty tough basketball. They're not afraid to drive, love the contact down low, but the Garnet at the moment coming out on the better end of that style.
Again, Schaefer, he has 10 points here tonight, and a foul is called. Unfortunate there for Cameron Korb, as he just slipped and found his way into Schaefer. And Schaefer has to walk it off a little bit as well. That's the second on Korb, 7th against MIT, and Schaefer will shoot the front end of the 1-and-1.
Yeah, and for MIT, they now have three guys, each with 2 fouls on them in Jomard, Hinckley, and now Korb. So especially given that Jomard and Hinckley, 2 of the starters who believe played 37 minutes apiece last night, they were expecting long minutes out of them, but if those foul numbers start to tick up, that could spell trouble for MIT.
Amazing to say that front ends this early matter, but they do, and Schaefer gets the roll. He'll shoot one more at the line. He's taken the Garnet's 2 foul shots here tonight, and he's 2 for 3 on the evening. 34-17, Yurko up the floor quickly. He'll rise and fire well short. Wiley pulls it up, thought better of it. Now a drive on Roberts, inside. Too easy from the senior Cam Wiley. And there you go, Jacob, that same switch you've been talking about.
I mean, that's what the mismatch gets you right there, because Wiley can so cleanly beat Roberts off the bounce, and if Roberts plays him tighter, he's just going to pull up for the 3.
For the first time, MIT looking a little bit out of sorts offensively. That's not the look for Bradley Jamard. Now a spin baseline, counted and one. Hinckley picks up his 3rd.
And I think MIT's just getting a little bit desperate here on the offensive end. It's sort of the mentality at this point that it's a 3 or it's a nothing when you're looking at a 21-point deficit in the first 10 minutes of the game. And now with Hinckley sitting on his 3rd foul, he had a really tough assignment in taking on Zach Odell, and Odell so far has gotten the better of him.
The Garnet are 15 for 16 from the floor. 6 of 6 from 3, 3 of 4 from the line, and 10 minutes in have scored 39 points. on pace for 78 in the first half.
Yeah, we're talking about just number-wise, Golden State Warriors at their finest to put up 78 points in a half.
Roberts can't finish inside. A little bit of a contest late from Nate Schaefer.
That's just a tough roll right there. Roberts did everything right except for the finish.
Counted and one. No, they wave it off, and a travel is called against Nate Schaefer. Boy, I didn't see the travel there, to be honest, Jacob.
Yeah, I didn't see much of that either. I thought he kept his feet cleanly there and went up through the contact, but
I mean, even then, he dribbled the basketball,
Yeah.
whether or not he kept his feet still. So a mystifying call, but the Garnet now looking for a stop. Yurko, big time off the screen. He has hit some tough shots here tonight.
That's an important one right there to get MIT some points because they have just been struggling offensively, got a little bit into desperation mode, but you know, you work off the screens and get a better look there.
Cam Wiley, step back and skip to Mailou. My goodness.
I don't know how they haven't missed a three yet. That's incredible.
Good movement there off the ball from MIT. Jamard will try it a second time for three. And again, Jacob, that's just not his game.
Yeah.
Wiley, he'll just beat his man. Too strong off the glass and brought down by Roberts.
I think that time he didn't necessarily need to take that shot there. I think if he kept going, tried to work in, he could have gotten the whistle from the contact with Yurko.
Now Yurko, too strong on that one. Wiley will try it again, a spin move inside. Cam Wiley is electric.
There are very few guys in this country that can do things like that. Already with 12 points in this game, 3 guys with 12 points for the Garnet.
Interesting here, Cam Wiley's gonna pick up his second personal foul with 8:04 to play in the first half. So he'll have to sit down. First look for Colin Shaw, the true freshman. And Justin Tucker will check in for the first time in his college career in the NCAA tournament.
And you're able to keep the Twin Tower lineup there with Odell and Tucker, and you've got a combination there of 2 pretty agile big men who can also shoot the 3 ball, especially in Tucker. So adds another dimension now to this Garnet offense.
Yurko hits the foul shot. Yurko's having a very nice game here. 9 points already in the first half, 3 for 7 from the field, and 2 for 3 from deep. 1 of 2 at the line. And here comes Abbas Salah. Interesting to see what the Garnet do without Cam Wiley on the floor and how that changes the offense. Visconti puts it up and good. He was getting hacked at by Korb. Korb thinks he was pushed off on by Visconti. No call on either side.
And the MIT fans wanted a travel call as well. Looked like he kept the feet cleanly there in spite of getting hacked.
Skip pass for Cameron Korb. Now Yurko, it's going to be his show. Rises for 3, no good. Long rebound corralled by Dan Pillsbury, and MIT will start it again. I believe their first offensive rebound of the night. And Yurko capitalizes.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point there's sort of an understanding that you're going to have to go through Yurko to get things going. His outside shooting will be hugely important.
Good defensive play there by Dakota Pierce, able to come in on the weak side. Yurko pulls up, and he is carrying this team right now. A.J. Yurko with 14 points here in the first half. Odell wants the ball again, lost it out of bounds, last touch by MIT. Pretty good defense there, though. And MIT finally starting to understand that you got to bring a second guy on the big for the Garnet. 6:46 to play, a timeout on the floor. Swarthmore 46, MIT 25. Some next level basketball being played here tonight. We'll be right back.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Bob Long, Jacob Brady, your team here on GSN. So excited to bring you NCAA tournament action this weekend from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, inside Tarbell Pavilion. The Garnet lead 46-25, still a lot of time left, 6:46 as the Garnet approach that 50 mark here in the first half. I think important stretch in the game for both teams. For MIT, listen, Cam Wiley on the bench with 2 fouls. Now is where you got to make your hay. And if you're Swarthmore, you do lead by 21, but no time to get comfortable.
Yeah, and it's sort of the A.J. Yurko show right now for MIT, but I don't know how sustainable that's going to be offensively.
And right now, MIT is collapsing a second guy on the bigs for Swarthmore every single time. A blocking foul called against Connor Harkins. Wasn't quite in that legal guarding position. And the front end of the 1-and-1 upcoming for MIT, so they've gotten a few stops in a row here.
I think because of the Garnet are only bringing out like a one true big lineup right now. They did have Odell and Tucker out together briefly, but now they have Schaefer by himself. That's allowing MIT collapse because they don't have to worry about the added presence of that other big man for the Garnet.
Dakota Pierce hits the first, a senior averaging 4 points per game. And again, for MIT, it's already every possession here important. Anytime you have a chance to score with the clock stopped. Second one, no good. 1 of 2. And a 20-point lead for the home Garnet. I'd say, though, already the offense has changed slightly without Wiley on the floor, and certainly the defensive adjustment that we mentioned for MIT. Schaefer, a handoff, Visconti all the way. And giving MIT, Jacob, a little bit of their own medicine. Yurko pulls up, foot on the line, good. A.J. Yurko silences the crowd for now, and he has 16 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's all him, but again, if nothing else is going for MIT, I don't know if he can really continue to maintain this consistently.
Nate Schaefer is called for his second personal foul. Got his arm caught up with A.J. Yurko inside, a lot of hand fighting. And that's a big call there as well. So for the Garnet, both Cam Wiley and Nate Schaefer have to sit on the bench with 2 fouls. And maybe for the duration of this first half.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Landry, ideally you're rolling out 2 bigs, Schaefer and Odell, and, you know, your equivalent of the death lineup. But they're not able to do that if Schaefer's sitting on 2.
Yurko got Abbas Salah in the air, draws the foul, and has 2 shots at the line. This is a special basketball game going on right now. A.J. Yurko taking things into his own hands, 16 points and chances for 2 more. And the Garnet, 19 for 21 from the field. 3 guys with 12 points. In different ways, there are accolades going all around the floor, and this has been nothing short of an incredible 14-plus minutes of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, we expected to see high-quality basketball from both teams. That we have, but Swarthmore just slightly outclassing them right now, and that's just compounding on every aspect of the game and turning into this 19-point lead.
Visconti pulls up and hits. Visconti gets to the elbow and able to just rise high over the defender, Cameron Korb.
And I'm just amazed by what he's been able to do since winter break. Had, you know, sort of those freshman struggles in the first half of the season, but he has been nothing short of spectacular since.
Same with Yurko. Another unbelievable off-balance shot, and he has 19 points now on the night. Odell inside. Here comes the second defender. Extra pass. Harkins tees it up and hits. Connor Harkins is 5 for 5 from deep. 15 points on the evening, and the Garnet lead by 21 again. Yurko is fouled by Salah. He'll shoot 2 more at the line. Garnet already have pushed themselves into double-digit fouls.
And that'll be the second on Salah as well, so you start to question if your ball handlers are starting to get into foul trouble, who's running the offense for you? Visconti and Salah certainly Visconti and Ingram certainly have the ability to do it, but you do want to have one of Salah or Wiley out on the floor at all times, and if they're starting to creep into foul troubles, that's going to be tough to do.
From the student section, the cheer is selfish. And if you're MIT, I don't think you care.
Yeah.
He's got 20 points. Nobody else has more than 4. And he's single-handedly keeping you in this basketball game.
Yeah, I mean, if it's working when you're down by 21, just keep rolling with it because nothing else is.
And they're still down to 20 points, but Yurko with 21 here in the first half to lead all scorers, 7 for 12 from the field. And all of a sudden, MIT, 4 of 5 in their last 5 field goal attempts. And Colin Shaw travels with it. So there is one thing that's creeping up here for the Garnet, and that's their turnovers. That's already their 6th turnover here tonight, more turnovers than missed field goals, as they've only missed 2 shots from the field. Nacho Nwana inside. Cameron Korb. Now a drive inside. Korb will launch. He's hit again, and for the second time tonight, he has a chance at a 4-point play.
And that time, that was definitely a foul there, committed by Shaw. Contact into his body prevented him from landing cleanly. That's a good call, and an even more impressive shot from Cameron Korb.
That's Connor Shaw's first personal foul. He takes a seat on the bench. And a chance for Korb to cut it to 16. Missed the free throw, rebound down to Ryan Ingram. It's a big rebound there. Ingram able to nearly get by his defender. Now he's looking for help. Odell is there as the safety valve. They'll reset with 15. A slip from Odell. He's fouled by Cameron Korb. Good find from Connor Harkins to Zach Odell as Harkins drew the second defender's eyes.
And Korb doesn't really have much of an option there except to sort of commit the foul because he just physically, height-wise, outclassed by Zach Odell. It would be an easy finish for him, but that's already his third, so MIT starting to eat into their ability to rotate as well.
Certainly, both teams have shortened their bench a little bit. The question is who can go deeper? And if you're Korb, you balance the difference between committing that third foul with those 2 guaranteed points. Odell, a 59% foul shooter. We'll see how he does on the other side.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
This is the game of the night in the NCAA tournament here in Division III. And we teased that at the top of the broadcast. I don't know if some of our viewers maybe didn't quite believe us. I have a question for you. Do you believe us now?
I mean, the offensive fireworks are absolutely absurd right now. Garnet, 91.3% from the field. You don't see anything like that basically ever, except for in this kind of a game. And again, MIT, 36 points in, about 16 minutes of basketball. Usually that's plenty to have them in the lead. But tonight against the Garnet, the way they're playing right now, nowhere near enough.
Colin Shaw commits another foul, this time 94 feet from the basket. And Nacho Nwana will go to the line to shoot 2 after Odell misses 2 at the line. So the Garnet have now missed more free throws, 3 on 6 attempts, than they have field goals, 2 on 23 attempts. Nacho Nawana banks it home. Clean off the glass and through the cylinder. He'll try it again. And that one, the more conventional route. And it is a 15-point game. George Visconti. And he's checked on his way to the basket by the defender number 23, Dakota Pierce. And now he'll shoot 2 at the line. That's the first against Dakota Pierce.
Physicality has been the name of the game here tonight. It's not like many of these are nickel dimers. These are legitimate fouls that both teams are committing. But again, in terms of how you run deep, you can certainly see, based on the way they played Skidmore last night, you would expect that it would have been MIT's goal to keep their starters out as much as possible. Tim Roberts not on the floor, played every single minute of last night's game, so perhaps the physical nature of this game is impeding their ability to implement the plan they had coming in.
George Visconti, the 82% foul shooter, hits both at the line. 17-point lead for the Garnet. Yurko runs the offense. Ball hasn't left his hands yet. And he gets it right back. An open 3 is good. Dan Pillsbury, the freshman, hits the 3, and it's down to 14.
And MIT is a fantastic shooting team. They about 41% from beyond the arc, so they're, right now they're only 5 3-point shots away from being tied, or actually being in the lead, excuse me. So this game has definitely not gone away from them.
Nacho Nawana called for his first personal foul. Double bonus time for Odell, and he's missed all 3 at the line. Yeah, I'd take that back. He had an and one earlier, so he hit his first foul shot. And then he's missed his last 3. Hits that one, 1 of 2 at the line, that trip, and a 15-point lead for the Garnet. We head towards 3 minutes to go in an unbelievable first half of basketball here in the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament. Yurko, guarded by Harkins, gets inside, and a finish with the left hand. 13-point lead for Swarthmore.
And we keep saying how unbelievable the basketball has been here today, and then you see Yurko doing things like that, and that's been really every play for both teams.
MIT getting in the passing lane. Harkins hits the 3 again. The closeout from Korb, just not good enough. Yurko, a wild 3, no good. Salah keeps it in bounds, and a late foul is called. Dakota Pierce picks up his second, and Abbas Salah will shoot 2 at the line. So let's go over the foul situation. For MIT, Ian Hinckley sits on the bench with 3. Cameron Korb just picked up his 3rd. Dakota Pierce with 2. Nacho Nawana with 1. Tim Roberts has 1. And Bradley Jamard continues to sit with those 2 personal fouls. For the Garnet, a ton of guys with 2 fouls. Cam Wiley, Nate Schaefer, Abbas Salah, Ryan Ingram, and Colin Shaw all have 2 fouls. 1 for Visconti, Harkins, and Odell, as Abbas Salah goes 1 for 2.
So they've been able to rest Wiley through these last, I believe, 8 or 6 or so minutes, so they've prevented him from getting those fouls to continue to creep up, because, you want him for the second half, because MIT could so easily get right back into this game.
Yurko no good, brought down by Odell. Here come the Garnet, and they give it away. Yurko up the floor. Zach Odell, a huge block. Here comes Salah. Harkins, no, make that Ingram. They went to Ingram instead. They had either one of them. And Ingram makes them pay. Offensive foul. And this crowd's going berserk.
I mean, 63 points in a half. You do not see this, you know, maybe from Grinnell. Maybe from every play, you shoot a three-pointer in the first 5 to 10 seconds of the shot clock, but that's not how the Garnet are playing. They're just playing so efficiently right now. Never in my life have I seen a basketball game where a team has missed 2 shots from the field out of 25 in a half.
Salah inside, good look for Visconti. He'll tee up a 3, and he is fouled. So he'll shoot 3 at the line, and for what you just said, that doesn't count now as a field goal shot opportunity. So and Visconti with 3 shots at the line, third on Dakota Pierce.
Right, exactly. So another MIT player now with 3 personal fouls. Hinckley, Korb, and Pierce, all 3 of them big-time three-point shooters. So you're limiting your offensive arsenal by all of those guys getting high up in the foul count.
Boy, my apologies to Ryan Ingram as well, going back a possession. It was an expertly run break. I said Harkins because he flipped open, wide open on the wing. Ingram did his job as well, went right to the baseline. Salah could have picked either. Ingram, pure from the baseline, big time from the sophomore. And now Ingram comes in to replace Abbas Salah. Visconti hits all 3. He's 5 for 5 from the line here tonight. 66 points put on the board by the Garnet. Still a minute plus in the first half. Yurko gets a switch, drives inside, a skip to the corner. Tough shot, no good, altered in midair by Zach Odell. Visconti cuts inside, good left-handed finish. And the Garnet lead by 25 points here at home. Yurko goes behind his back, loses the ball. Harkins on the floor first. And let's see if he got a timeout. No, a jump ball. And they're gonna untangle the bodies. Nacho Nowana came crashing in. 30.7 seconds on the clock. The basketball will stay with MIT, it appears.
And the selfish chancer continuing, but I mean, Yurko has been the only thing that's going well for this MIT offense, and he's surrounded right now by the Garnet fans. I mean, he's got 23 points inside. You gotta respect it. You gotta respect the job that he's done.
And now a discussion over at the scorer's table, which isn't doing A.J. Yurko any favors. This is going to allow Grant Miller, the freshman, to come to the scorer's table, and he'll replace Nacho Nowana. And that reset the shot clock, which now allows MIT to take the last shot of the half if they choose. Yurko pulls up for 3, no good. Shaw brings it down. Timeout called with 14.9 seconds to play. The use it or lose it. And Swarthmore, up 25, will have a chance to get to 70 here in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to describe this because you just don't see this kind of basketball. And I mean, a lot of it is luck. I will say that. I mean, the shots, they're just falling right now. You never see a team go 10 for 10 from beyond the arc. A lot of that is luck, but at the same time, they've been breaking down this MIT defense so well, whether they're hitting them with zone or with man. The inside-out passing is good. The inside-in passing is so good as well. And, you know, you've got so many great shooters sprinkled around the arc. Ingram's out there. Harkins is out there. Cam Wiley can hit threes as well. So there's just, there are too many pieces right now that are working that MIT has to stop for them to be able to stop them effectively.
Wiley back into the game for the last possession. He'll drive inside, puts it up, no good. 2 seconds left. And they do get a shot off at the horn, no good. Garnet leads 68-43. A vast majority of the last portion of the first half was done without Cam Wiley on the floor. But all they did was add to their lead, and they finished 23 for 26 from the field. 10 for 10 from beyond the arc.
I mean, with Cam Wiley sitting on the bench for the majority of the end of the last 10 minutes of that first half, that is a nice confidence boost for them, because that tells them, hey, when we put the ball in the hands of Abbas Salater on the offense, Ryan Ingram as well, we know we can still hang against a team, of this caliber. And every single team, if they do happen to advance in this tournament, they're going to be playing teams of a similar, if not better caliber than this MIT team. So just right now, again, you feel bad sometimes for a team like MIT because, again, they're playing well. They're playing very well offensively. AJ Yurko is having an incredible game, played every single minute of that first half, put up 23 points. And you just feel bad sometimes because they're not playing badly, and yet the Garnet are just playing out of this world right now, and the Engineers just can't hang.
Yeah, like you said, sometimes you just run into a brick wall. That's what Swarthmore is right now. They lead by 25. MIT looking for answers. The way this team can score, they're going to try to come out, win the first 5 minutes, and then start clawing their way back. Garnet certainly have a head start. We'll see what happens here in the second half. Bob Long, Jacob Brady here on GSN. Halftime at Tarbell Pavilion in the round of 32 of the NCAA tournament. We'll be right back.
You can't sit here.
Don't add her to the chain.
It was just a joke.
We're not friends.
Why are you talking to me?
He started it.
She's so gross.
Lame.
Loser.
Weirdo.
I've said and done things before that I'm not proud of.
Just as I've been hurt by others.
The thing is, this is not who I am. And it's definitely not who I want to be.
I don't want to be cruel.
I don't want to spread gossip.
I don't want to be a body shamer. I don't want to exclude anyone.
I don't want to make anyone feel lonely,
Left out.
Hurt.
We have the power to be more.
We can create a kinder world.
It's not that hard.
We just need to stop.
take a moment
And consider others.
before we speak.
And before we act.
Be more.
Be more.
Be more.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that.
It's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
Our obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn that in giving, we receive so much more in return. Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
It goes back to our origins as an institution committed to serving the common good. We come together to work, to study, because we believe it can have an impact on the world beyond the campus.
People aren't just one thing. They're not just students. They're not just athletes. They're not just activists.
Everyone has something that they're passionate about, something that distinguishes them.
SWAT calls you out on your opinions and your beliefs. People are okay with saying, no, I disagree with you and I want to have a productive conversation with you.
People are really invested in learning for the pure joy of it.
People just have a social conscious sense
to impact the world and try and make it a better place.
Your academic life and your social life overlap completely. It's the people that make the place for me.
And I get a huge sense of joy from those conversations that last way longer than you think. And the conversation just changes your entire perspective on something.
Swarthmore has changed me in ways that I haven't even begun to contemplate yet.
No matter what I end up doing, I have a commitment to social justice and social change.
My ultimate goal is to use my knowledge in the real world to actually try to make the world a little bit of a better place.
The liberal arts is a profoundly optimistic way to view the world, and I think it sets you up for a lifetime of engaging with the world and with other people.
Whether they are humanists or scientists or social scientists, Swarthmore students believe in bringing the full power of their intellect and the passion of their spirit to contribute to the larger society. This is the time to celebrate the value of a Swarthmore education and the value of a liberal arts education to democratic society.
When you're in college, you kind of find out who you are. And throughout your 4 years, you develop yourself with all the different experiences, which leads into dedicating yourself to your community, to your family. So when you're a senior, you're coming out a well-rounded person.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests outside of the classroom and outside of the court or field. I've had the ability to get into different activities and organizations, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
Getting to be involved in a lot of different things, ranging from obviously being a student athlete to getting involved with my campus and my community, and not only being allowed to do that, but being encouraged to do that.
The opportunity to be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, to have the professors know me on a personal level, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference. It really helps you develop thinking from other people's perspectives and looking at problems from outside the box.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
I've definitely learned how to really be myself. I found out, yes, I am actually a good leader, and yes, I can actually put myself forward because I am good enough. I can do it.
Coming in to college, I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of different career goals, and I've learned so much about myself that I was always like growing and changing.
When I got to college, it forced me to step up and become more of a leader, and I think that was something I had the capability of doing, and forever grateful that being at a Division III school gave me that opportunity.
You have to dedicate your time in the classroom, you have to dedicate your time in the gym, on the field, on the court.
Our coaches and the entirety of the athletic department, they valued the student athlete going out into community and trying something new and getting involved in campus life.
You can get involved in so many different things. So the possibilities are truly limitless for what you can do with your college experience. You can kind of make it your own in the Division III setting. So I would encourage people who want to have flexibility to pursue different interests and passions to go D3.
across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Welcome back inside Tarble Pavilion. The beginning of the second half. Up next here on GSN. And the Garnet shooting 89% from the floor. 24 for 27. And the last field goal attempt of the half was actually a miss, Jacob. So they started 24 for 26. 4 guys in double figures. Connor Harkin, 6 for 6 from behind the arc, has 18 points. George Visconti, 5 for 5 from the field. He has 16 points. Cam Wiley and Nate Schaefer both have 12. But leading all scorers is A.J. Yurko from MIT with 23 points on 8 of 16 shooting, and no other engineer has more than 6 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the A.J. Yurko show, and it sort of had to be because that was the only thing that was even coming close to working for this MIT team. He's had to take on such a big role, and I mean, the thing is, the Garnet defense hasn't really been able to stop him. They haven't been able to slow him down. They've shut down the rest of the MIT team. That's what they focused on, and sort of accepted the fact, hey, you know what, A.J. Yurko, he knows this team's sort of on his back at this point. He's going to go out, he's going to put up a cricket score, and you just sort of accept that. And if you just look at the numbers for MIT, 48.4% from the field, 43% from deep. Those aren't bad numbers, and 43 points, that's a very good first half point total. But you compare that to how the Garnet are playing right now, and that's the reason that MIT just can't keep up at the moment.
Schaefer spinning baseline as he loves to do. Gets over his right shoulder with the left hand. Interesting here, Jacob, Harrison Forsyth at 6'8", almost kind of the forgotten man here, has only played 6 minutes. And based on all the success the Garnet have been having inside, now Jamard blocked by Zach Odell.
Yeah, I mean, MIT used a similar strategy last night. I believe Forsyth only played 10 minutes in that first half and then played all 20 of the second.
Visconti blocked on the offensive end. Garnet leads 70-43. Just the 4th missed field goal tonight from the Garnet. Forsyth blocked by Schaefer. It stays inbounds somehow. Here's Wiley running the break. Visconti, and now they'll slow it up. Great look inside. Zach Odell, that one's tipped and against the rim from Tim Roberts. So Roberts getting back into the action.
Yeah, we talked right at the end of the first half about how what MIT needed to do was win the first 5 minutes of this second. They haven't scored yet, but they have been able to get some stops against the Garnet, and they're going to have to continue to do that if they want to have a chance of getting back into this game.
Good spin there by Bradley Jamard.
Yeah, also going to have to get that man going. There's a reason that he was named NUMAC Player of the Year, so they're going to need to see more drives like that out of him that end in buckets.
Here's Odell at the elbow, guarded by Yurko. Drives at Yurko. Too short there, and Roberts gets another rebound. The chant is defense from the Garnet bench. Yurko inside, Roberts, good finish. And we've mentioned it, not as much as MIT would like us to, certainly in the first half, but they've done it a few times. 2-man basketball, a screen from Roberts, and a slip there as Yurko goes with the right-hand dribble and then a find. Wiley, a step back, unbelievable, and it finishes with some nylon.
Yeah, I mean, moves like that, those are what have defined Cam Wiley's career here for Swarthmore.
Same with that. He has 1,498 points for his career. Visconti and a block. A foul is called inside. He'll shoot 2 at the line. That'll go against Harrison Forsyth, his first personal. George Visconti misses his first foul shot of the night. Now 6 for 7 from the line.
And there was a time in this game when the Garnet had missed more free throws than they had field goals.
Visconti 2 of 2 from the line. Believe it or not, the Garnet are 1 for 4 on their last 4 field goal attempts. That dates back to the Cam Wiley drive in the first half and then here in the second. Again, the lone even average run here tonight from the Garnet, and they're on a 18-4 run. Forsyth in and out, rebound to Harkins. Ingram up the floor, elects to pull it back. Cam Wiley needs 2 points for 1,500 in his Garnet career as a senior. Harkins drives with the left hand. Now 9 seconds for Abbas Salah. Spins, looks for help, knocked out of bounds, well defended by Harrison Forsyth. And now here's the time. Here's why Landry Kosmalski makes the big bucks. What can you draw up out on sideline out of bounds to get you a quick and a good shot, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, Kosmalski has done this very well. Actually surprised that Ingram was going to take it.
Oh, Cam Wiley, 1,500 points for his career, and continues the onslaught here for the Garnet.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look like that. I'm used to seeing Harkins go for the 3 off of those inbounds, but Wiley running the baseline does it. Same result.
A.J. Yurko attacked the body of Nate Schaefer. He picks up his 3rd personal. That's one that I think is one that could have gone either way, certainly could have kept the whistle silent, but a senior Yurko did his best to make the official make the call, and based on his day today, he's earned that benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Zach Odell will check in for Nate Schaefer. Schaefer, believe it or not, with all the fouls that the Garnet had in the first half, 13 of them, the first guy to 3 personals. And Yurko predictably makes them both. He has 25 points here tonight.
And even with only playing 16 minutes, especially because he got onto those 2 personals in the first half, already with 14 points.
Abbas Salah on the drive. Inside for Odell. He's blocked by Forsyth. That was clean and that was spectacular. Jamard nearly carried the ball, and now Visconti called for the foul. 15:49 to play. The under 16 timeout has hit here in the second half. Garnet lead by 26 points here at home in the round of 32. You're watching the 2019 NCAA tournament on GSN. We'll be right back.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
Cam Wiley, 1,500 point scorer in his career here at Swarthmore College, one of the few to ever do that. He'd have to go a long way to get to the 1,702 points to pass Will Gates, but nonetheless, it's a spectacular career and arguably the most decorated player in Swarthmore history, a 2-time Conference Player of the Year in the Centennial. and has led his team now to 3 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances and 4 straight conference championship title appearances.
Yeah, and joining Zach Yonda in that pantheon, Yonda finished his career with 1522, and he was really the guy that started off in a way that putting the Garnet on the national scene really in his freshman year, playing in the conference title game against F&M, and then 3 appearances in the NCAA tournament.
George Visconti again from the baseline, all set up by Abbas Salah. And prior to that, it's Ryan Ingram getting his hands dirty on the baseline, able to poke that away from Roberts. Roberts pulls up. That's not his shot. Jamard able to keep it in. Forsyth, a tough corner 3. Zach Odell, that's a man's rebound.
Yeah, I think between today and yesterday, that was the first jump shot that Roberts took, and did not take a single 3 all season.
Zach Odell dives to the hole, and he's fouled there. Will it be Yurko or Hinckley? Big call coming up. It's going to go against A.J. Yurko. That's his 2nd personal. Would have been Hinckley's 4th.
Yeah, so Yurko has done a good job of keeping himself pretty clean defensively through this game while others have failed, and you know that's allowed him at this point now 25 points in this game.
And on the other side of the floor, we're going to get a mop in the lane. So a quick stoppage as Phineas, the mascot for Swarthmore, got a little bit of airtime.
Didn't see him in the first half. Maybe I missed it.
Woke up from hibernation.
Yeah.
The Phoenix rises, Jacob,
exactly.
You know? 10 seconds on the shot clock. Abbas Salah gets inside, rises. No good. Everything but the finish that time from the sophomore. Garnet lead by 21. Inside Roberts. Just can't finish it. And again, Ryan Ingram getting in there and getting his nose dirty on the defensive glass. Odell thought about the 3.
Crowd wanted it too.
And a grab there from Hinckley. That's his 4th personal foul. Hinckley's going to complain, but again, you just can't grab. It's simple as that. A little chuck.
Yeah, and they really have no choice but to keep him out here. At this point, I would imagine they're going to keep all of their stars out no matter how high they get foul-wise, because when you're trailing by 29, if you want any hope, you just have to keep the guys out on the floor.
Brilliant out-of-bounds play that time, unleashing George Visconti. Jamar, now Yurko inside. Roberts blocked by Odell. He got a piece. And Roberts looks gassed on his way down the floor. Wally, a pull-up. Yes. Garnet lead by 33 points. And another block inside. Ingram fouled by Tim Roberts. And Roberts is absolutely gassed, running up and down the floor, his 2nd personal foul.
Yeah, he has had to play a ton of minutes for this MIT team, every single one of them in the game yesterday, and then 19 here tonight. I mean, you got to feel for him because he's just been running back and forth at this frenetic pace that the Garnet have been taking, it already coming in on short rest after that hard outing.
Now MIT Liberal on the switches as the Garnet turn the ball over. Good play by Roberts. He's going to run the break. Wild shot, no good. George Visconti called for the foul.
Just summoning a little bit up there from the reserves to poke that away from Schaefer. Good defensive play, and then running all the way those final 90 feet to get to the basket and draw the foul.
Roberts well short on the first. .72% foul shooter on the year, set to attempt his 2nd. Second one is good. 32-point lead for Swarthmore. Still a long way to go in this one, and the Garnet already up at 82 points. highest scoring first half of the year. Well on the way to achieving that here in the second.
What was their scored 100 against Dickinson, correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
they did
so-
on the road. Wiley lines it up and hits it. 35-point lead, and Cam Wiley continues to tack him on. The Garnet of Swarthmore putting the country on notice.
And they still have not missed a three. They are now 12 for 12.
Given away there, good defensive play by number 24, Dan Pillsbury. Yurko, wild shot, no. Rebound fought for, Wiley comes up with it, he'll run the break. Ingram for three, good! 13 for 13 from beyond the arc tonight.
That's just demoralizing because you just feel like everything's sort of going against you, be that, you know, the calls or just the plays themselves. You think, how can that happen? And you know what, the Garnet, it's rare you see things like this, but sometimes these games happen and the Garnet are taking full advantage right now.
Full timeout on the floor. Garnet lead 88-50, still 12:23 to go, and Phineas is enjoying himself here at Tarble Pavilion tonight. Stay with us here on GSN.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Yes, sir, the fans do love Cam Wiley here at Tarble Pavilion. He's graced the gym for the last 4 years. And he, as well as a few of the past classes, you think about Zach Yonda and Robbie Walsh, have really built what this program has become, going all the way back to even Shane Leffler, who's now an assistant coach on the bench. He was part of that first run to the Centennial Conference Tournament Final back in the year 2016. Here's Cameron Korb for three. That one's no good. Shaw brings it down. In amongst the trees, the freshman willing to get after it. "12 minutes to go in this basketball game, the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament. This was the game the country was looking for. Schaefer inside, and the Garnet have blown it open all night long. They lead by 40.
I mean, we came in expecting a lot of offense. We just didn't expect it to be quite this one-sided.
Open three for Korb. In and out. Rebound brought down by Higley. It's loose, and Salah comes up with it.
And the crowd's got the safety school chants now going.
Tell you what, both schools have admissions rates under 10%. I don't think that's the case with either of them, but in good fun, I suppose, here tonight. Shaw gets his defender in the air, and a great finish from the freshman.
Yeah, what a stop there, and just a little bit of a sidearm jump shot there from Shaw. What a job from the freshman.
Yurko, no good. And it'll stay here. Cam Wiley and Abbas Salah in on it. It's Salah called for the personal. Timeout on the floor.
Wiley looking a little relieved there. I think he thought the foul was on him and that he might have to take a seat, but looks like he'll be able to stay out on the floor.
The Garnet are shooting 79% from the floor, 34 for 43, 13 for 13 from beyond the arc. They're unconscious here at home in the NCAA tournament. Stay with us here on GSN. The superlatives are beyond explanation here at Tarbell Pavilion. The Garnet are on a 37-9 run over the last 12:32. That was the latter stages of the first half and through here to now in the second half. MIT hasn't scored in the last 240. They're 1 for 12 in their last 12 attempts. Nacho Nawana, inside he goes, puts it up, and no good. Salah all the way to the 10, and it falls.
And we've seen some quite nice finishes from the young guys here. Colin Shaw just had one, and Salah right there goes left, up with the right hand, and just nice little bank off the glass.
Hinckley for three. That one's good off the back screen. Ends the 3-minute scoreless drought for MIT.
That's the reason that they kept him in there in spite of the 4 personal fouls. He is a very good three-point shooter. Hadn't been able to get it going tonight, though. That was his first field goal of the game.
Poked away from Odell. 13 on the shot clock. Cam Wiley will reset it. Isolation for Wiley. Pulls up. In and out. And the first three-point shot missed tonight from the Swarthmore Garnet. Now 13 for 14 from beyond the arc. Still 9 minutes and 15 seconds left in this basketball game. Colin Shaw and Nacho Nawana getting into it, and they got tangled up. It's the 6th team foul, Colin Shaw's 3rd.
And again, in some ways, the fouls are kind of concerning because, you know, when you get up into the tournament, you get what will be, we're assuming at this point, final 16 teams in the country that the Garnet will be taking on. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're more physical, so fouls might start to become an issue, and we're already seeing with Shaw sitting on 3, 5 guys now sitting on 3 personals. That's not going to be sustainable once they make that next jump up in rounds.
Visconti picks up his 4th personal foul. Connor Harkins will replace him.
And what a game Visconti has had. 22 points, 7 of 8 from the field, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. Great game from the freshman, showing some composure, some serious composure in his first year in a Garnet uniform. Already so much has been asked for him all season, and he has really lived up to the hype surrounding him.
1 of 2 for Ian Hinckley. Rebound to Justin Tucker. Good for him to get some run here tonight. Yurko, a good strip, and poked away on the other end by Cam Wiley. It'll stay with MIT, but again, a very adept play that time from the senior guard for MIT, Yurko, to create the possession.
Yeah, I've yet to see a player who can beat Wiley in a straight line sprint like that, and start off lane, just came from behind to poke that away from Yurko.
Nacho Nawana and Ryan Ingram got into it underneath. Last touch by Nawana, out of bounds. Abbas Salah will take a breath as the clock ticks under 8:45 to play. Garnet by 40.
I think they're happy at this point just to settle things down a little bit.
Tucker on the drive inside. Good finish. He's very good driving to his right, Jacob.
And he just doesn't do that often enough because he can do it so well. He's, at least in past games, we've seen progression from him, especially late on in the season, that he's gotten more confident in his ability to drive. It used to be just shoot the 3 or pass it when you've got a guy fronting you right near the 3-point arc, but now he just picks that ball up and goes to work.
Ryan Ingram traveled with it, wasn't expecting that pass from Abbas Salah. And Landry Kosmalski is saying, Abbas, go up with that basketball.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something else, though. Landry Kosmowski, his team preaches defense. And that's the thing that I think is going to be forgotten in this second half. As we're now 12 minutes into this second half, the Garnet have given up 11 points to this high-powered MIT offense. And that's the effort that Kosmowski, I'm sure, is going to be talking about after the basketball game if we've gotten to know him over time.
I mean, there's an expectation that no matter who you are, if you're Cam Wiley, if, you're a guy sitting on the end of the bench, that every time you're out on the court, you're hustling on every play, and you're giving maximum effort at all times. And this has been a maximum effort game from the Garnet.
Korb just missed a bunny. Tucker with 16. Not a ton of ball movement there, and Nacho Nwana is called for the personal foul. That's the 5th team foul, comes with 7:12 to play in the second against Nwana.
And the Garnet, looking a little stagnant on that possession. The movement was a little down, and Tucker was just trying to create there for himself, but got bailed out at the last second by, not at the last second, still plenty of time on the clock, but that Nacho Nwana foul there giving the Garnet new life.
Shades of the 2016 Final Four, where the Villanova Wildcats shot 77% against Oklahoma. Tonight, it's 77% for Swarthmore, 36 for 47, and still 7:12 to go here at Tarbell Pavilion in the second round of the 2019 NCAA tournament. Bob Long, Jacob Brady, your broadcast team here on GSN. The Garnet had the right to host the pod, the group of 4 here in the NCAA tournament. If they finish things off here tonight, certainly there's a chance that they would be able to host the next pod as well, given geographic considerations. Randolph-Macon is playing against York right now. We'll get you a score update shortly on that. Amherst is one of the other top seeds that they would play next week, or would be in the same pod at the very minimum, as Schaefer travels. And so all those considerations have to be kept in play as well. Randolph-Macon 71-58, well on their way to victory with 1:34 to play. Amherst leads Rochester in a barn burner as Nate Schaefer, a big block. 58-55, Amherst leads Rochester with 8 minutes left in that ball game. Dakota Pierce leaves his feet. Yurko for 3, good. AJ Yurko breaks a 1-for-17 streak from the floor for MIT.
Yeah, and I believe with regards to hosting privilege, I believe they do like a formal re-rank of the teams. And if the Garnet, continue to hold on in such a fashion, it would be hard for the selection committee and the hosting committee to really not put those next 2 rounds here at Tarbell Pavilion.
Still all yet to be determined. Garnet trying to close this one out, leading by 39 here at home. Ingram for 3, no good. And the Garnet have missed 2 straight from beyond the arc. Here's a 3 from Pillsbury, no good. And both teams starting to cool off a little bit in the latter stages of this second half. Shaw top of the key. He'll spin, looking for help, keeps the pivot foot, and Salah is there, able to pick it up. 8 seconds left. Salah inside, good look to the baseline. Ingram will try it again, this time he hits. And the Garnet are at 99 points.
That's one of the things that they do so well, is it's the lack of fear. You miss a shot, you say, hey, I make that in practice 1,000 times. I'm going to shoot it again. Doesn't matter what happens. It's, that idea of very short memory. you quickly forget about that miss and you think, hey, I'm teeing it up again.
Rebound corralled. And here's Pierce up the floor. Yurko, no good, a little bit short. And the last few have come up short for MIT. Perhaps the legs getting a little bit weary after a long weekend.
And Yurko especially, every single minute of this game now for the Engineers. So I'm sure the fatigue is weighing on him.
Another turnover there by the Garnet. Korb will try it. No, Pierce is going to drive instead, and Tucker is called for the personal. Just grabbed at him as he knew he was beat on that drive. 8th team foul against the Garnet. 1-and-1 upcoming for number 23, the senior Dakota Pierce. He's a 59% foul shooter. Ian Hinckley comes to the bench. Alec White comes into the game for Swarthmore. It brings the constituents to their feet. Doesn't see a ton of time, Jacob, but a hard worker and has given, really, at a few junctures this year, 4 or 5 spurts when the team really needed him out there on the floor in big games.
Yeah, I mean, he always plays hard when it's asked of him. There's been a couple times, as you said, in high-stakes scenarios where he's been put into the game and he's performed well. So glad to see him getting rewarded in that regards by getting minutes here at the end of this second-round game, and I assume shortly we're going to see guys like Lee Martin, Jared Groff, Peter Fago, and Julian Levin coming in to this game as well, who always play with such energy at the end of games.
Tucker with a turn. He throws a fastball through the hands of Abbas Salah. I think it jammed Abbas's finger.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's in a little pain after that one. Tucker just...
And here they come.
Yeah.
Wholesale substitutions on both sides. Peter Fago, Julian Levin, Jared Groff, Lee Martin onto the floor, joining Alec White. The fan favorites here at Swarthmore. The guys who put all the effort in practice. They get rewarded with 4 minutes of run here in the NCAA tournament. Christian Williams in for MIT, as well as Connor Bradley, who has it now. This is Grant Miller. A handoff, and Bradley gets it back, a drive to the hole, and a travel. That one wasn't tipped. So you can't catch your own shot. Timeout on the floor. 3:49, final media timeout here this evening. The Garnet of Swarthmore. It is a coronation, and the rest of the nation has been put on notice.
Being the first in my family to go to college, it feels empowering.
College is not a 4-year plan. With a degree, you're able to set yourself up for the next 40 years of your life.
My coaches made sure that the student comes first, because not everyone's going to become a professional athlete.
They know what it means to be successful off the court. Academics is the most important factor. The athletic scholarship just opened so many doors for me.
I'm excited to see what my future holds.
A look at the contingency here at Swarthmore, and the fans know. They know they're on TV. MIT was the top team out of the NUMAC in the regular season. They were convincing last night against Skidmore, and they were on fire from beyond the arc. Tonight it's Swarthmore on fire from beyond the arc and dominating from start to finish. Groff nearly has it pulled away, and now does. It's a race for the basketball, and he just overruns it. Inside they go. Lee Martin called for the personal. Groff kind of oddly there just ran away from that basketball at the moment of truth.
Yeah, Alex Cho there had an opportunity just to go at it himself, had a clear path to the basket, tried for the pass to Grant Miller, almost ended badly, but save by the foul.
And he's unselfish as well, and rare time on the floor, which you like to see from Cho and anybody else for that matter. Cho no good on the second. Rebound brought down by Groff. Now Martin has it. Julian Levin has it. And he drives inside, loses the handle, and it's given away. Cho will walk it up the floor. (99-58). Garnet looking for triple digits. But first looking for a stop. Christian Williams off the back screen. Levin got his hand in the passing lane. Martin takes the screen. Here's Groff, driving inside, shoulders contact, and he'll shoot two at the line. So a chance to take a deep breath, think about it a little bit, and understand that he has the opportunity to put the Garnet into triple digits here in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it would be only the second time all season, and I don't believe they've ever hit triple digits in NCAA games.
Jared Groff puts in the foul shot, and now they have.
I think it was 97 against Wesleyan last year. That was their previous highest, but yeah, give them 100.
It comes with 2:41 to play. Groff hits them both. And Jared Groff has 2 points in the NCAA tournament. Congratulations to the sophomore. That's fantastic for him. Stolen by Fago.
Yeah, great job defensively by him.
Nearly a tremendous finish. Draws another foul, this time against Grant Miller.
I would have sent the crowd wild. They do love Jared Groff, and opportunity to add to that scoring total here in the tournament. I've talked about Jared Groff a couple times this season. He is a very good player, and the thing is the Garnet sort of have this glut of guards at the top, and all very good guards. I mean, Visconti is there, Shaw is there, Sala is there, Wiley is there. I'm sure I'm missing somebody. Harkins is there. Ingram is there. I try not to offend anybody by leaving them out, and Groff just sort of gets lost behind that, but you can see it when he comes out onto the floor, plays with intensity, and pretty skilled player as well.
A 45-point lead for Swarthmore against the number 12 team in the country, MIT. Rebound fought for. Levin had a hand on it. Out of bounds, last touched by Julian Levin. This, as you mentioned, Jacob, making a statement to the country, and certainly to be determined who will host next week. Offensive foul. Christian Williams runs right through Lee Martin. Randolph-Macon finished it off against York. And I still have Amherst 67, Rochester 62, 2:57 to play. But I think that's outdated. Big block there, it'll stay here. Yeah, the update is actually 27 seconds left. Amherst leads by 7, 71-64. 1:30 to play. Garnet have put 103 on the board against a team that some people thought was good enough to go to the Final Four, MIT. This was an Elite 8 caliber matchup, Final Four caliber matchup in the round of 32. And Groff traveled.
Yeah, I mean, this was an MIT team. You looked at the underlying stats. I believe they had the third best scoring margin in the country. They were averaging 84, nearly 85 points a game, only giving up about 67. So this was a very good team. They scored 80-plus points in 20 out of the 28 games they played coming into tonight, and they just got stymied. They looked good in the first half. They played well in the first half. Again, the numbers are good. 43 points in a half. That's a very respectable number. Over 43, or at 43% shooting from beyond the arc, right around 50% from the field. Those are good numbers. And then you went into the locker room and you did that, and yet you were down by 25. And I think they just came out in this second half and they were just demoralized. They went on that scoring drought when they could just not buy a bucket. And they just, it's tough. It's tough when you feel like you're playing well and yet you're getting blown out. And I think that's how MIT felt. And that certainly translated into how they were playing in some of the body language that you could see.
It'll be number 20, Giannis Hagavaroglu to the line. Hagavaroglu, a freshman at 6'6", from Athens, Greece, and is actually a member of the under-16 national team in the country of Greece.
Yeah, I wonder if he's met another famous Giannis, Antetokounmpo.
Yes. I don't know, Antetokounmpo or Hagavaroglu?
Hagavaroglu,
You take your choice in which name you like better or is more of a tongue twister. Hagavaroglu makes both. 103-62. Garnet content to hold. We'll see if they even take a shot. Jared Graff now toys with the defender, goes right at him, and he is fouled, and he's taken down hard. And I think Hagavaroglu got hurt there as well. There was a ton of contact. So Graff having himself a nice game here as well in the latter stages. He has 4 points, 4-4 from the line.
I'm sure, yeah, he'll take the 6 in an NCAA game. That's a nice thing to put on your resume. Tell your kids later on, hey, I scored 6 points playing in the national tournament.
He's got 5 now, an opportunity for that 6th. The Garnet, 37 for 51 from the field. 73%, 14 of 17 from beyond the arc. A last shot at the horn, that one's good. The country has been put on notice. The Swarthmore Garnet, in emphatic fashion, beat MIT, the number 12 team in the country, by 40 here at home to advance to the round of 16. A performance unlike anything we've ever seen. The Garnet shoots 73% from the field and 82% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ask for much of a better game than this, especially at this point. They went into the first round, played a very tough Mitchell team that was, playing well above where people expected them to be playing. Played the Garnet very tough through the first 10 minutes or so of that game, and gave them a real challenge. And I think that was huge for them because it told them, hey, we can weather the storm. We know how good we are. We just need to show everybody else how good we are. And that's what they did to Mitchell. And then they came out here today with their confidence up. I think MIT was honestly a little tired after, their whole starting lineup played 30-plus minutes, even 40 minutes in that first game against Skidmore. And the Garnet said, hey, you know what? Our confidence is up right now. We know, again, just how good we are. We showed last night. We're going to show it again. And that's exactly what they did out here on the Tarble Pavilion floor.
These fans enjoying the moment. And why wouldn't they? It's perhaps the last game that they'll see here at Tarble Pavilion. But all that is yet to be determined. But what we do know is that the Garnet of Swarthmore will take on Randolph-Macon in the next round of the NCAA tournament. Randolph-Macon advanced through their pod that they also hosted. Now coming into this week, Randolph-Macon was one spot ahead of Swarthmore, but the gaps closed considerably in terms of the seedings and the rankings coming in after Randolph-Macon lost their conference championship game, a close game that they had against York that ended up being extended in the latter stages. Does anything change in the minds of the committee and those that are making the decisions that some of it's based on seeding and some of it's based on geography as well? It's going to be an interesting discussion for sure, but all that the Garnet cares about right now is that they dominated from start to finish. They got to be feeling good about themselves. Connor Harkins can't miss. Ryan Ingram was fantastic. Cam Wiley had a spectacular game. And any way you slice it, you have two guys scoring over 20 points, Visconti and Wiley. Nate Schaefer poured in 16, Connor Harkins with 18. This is a game that these folks will remember for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, this stands out in your mind, especially because people said, hey, look at this MIT team. I think a lot of people might have expected an upset here today because that's just how good MIT really was throughout the season. A lot of people expected the upset, and Garnet turned around and said, no chance. We're not going to take that. Wiley obviously going over 1,500 for the career. What a career he's had, and he gets another chance to extend it next weekend. Really, Swarthmore fans, I got to say they're living a charmed life right now. Women's soccer going to the Sweet 16 this season. Men's basketball will be going to the Sweet 16. Baseball is ranked, depending on who you ask, right around the top 5 of the nation. So it's a golden age for Swarthmore sports right now, I will say that. And men's basketball is right at the vanguard of that.
Your final tonight, 105-65. The Garnet win by 40 and erase any doubt that anybody might have had about this program from the Centennial Conference, this small school here in southeastern PA. And now they know who they're playing next. They just don't know where. And it'll be an interesting Sunday into Monday as we wait for that determination. But until then, thank you to everybody who's been with us all season long here on GSN. He's Jacob Brady. I am Bob Long, genuinely thanking everybody every step of the way who's joined any one of our broadcasts this year. And we certainly hope for the opportunity to do it again, to entertain you in your living room or wherever and however you might be involved with our GSN telecast. Until next time, have a great evening and have a great rest of your weekend. The Garnet off to the round of 16 for the second time in as many years. Good night.